it's time to start this war. Not giving in. I'm not giving in.
Good evening and welcome to the Auditorium in Grimsby for both semi-finals of this year's partypoker.com Snooker Premier League. We're live on Sky Sports 3 in HD. Tonight's line-up sees 4 times champion of the world John Higgins against the man with the best record by far in this season's league, Stuart Bingham, and the winner of that will play either world number 1 Judd Trump or former world number 1 Neil Robertson. Hello, good to see you again. When we started off the Premier League campaign back in August, picking a winner was never going to be easy, and now we're down to just 4. It feels bizarrely just as tough. 2009 winner Shaun Murphy could only win one of his group matches, and the world number 1 at the time, Mark Selby, failed to win any. There was a welcome return to the 2002 world champion Peter Ebdon. A lot of people thought the shot clock could suit the style of the World Open champion Mark Allen, and no one would dare write off the chances of 2-time UK champion Ding Junhui.
Welcome back to the Premier League Snooker in 2012.
They call his nickname is Bull Run Bingham. I wonder why.
Mark Allen off to a flyer.
The player who may well be world champion sometime in the next 10 years. A world champion of 10 years ago.
So that's how good a player Peter Ebdon is.
Top class, a total clearance of 131.
Very well compiled century break from Shaun Murphy. This is good stuff now.
He's flying. Beautiful. A break of 113.
As determined as anybody. Beautiful shot.
This looks like the 304th century of Ebdon's career. Top class.
Played it very nicely indeed. Tremendous shot. That was excellent.
Great pot.
Trump was the X factor.
Wow, what a shot that is.
Hats off to Stuart Bingham.
Stuart Bingham qualifies as group winner.
Textbook stuff, that's why it's been such a great point.
Higgins guaranteed to qualify for the semi-finals.
Judd Trump on a high, no stopping him. Judd Trump has qualified for the semi-finals of the partypoker.com Premier League Snooker, and he's done so in some style.
He is playing the double. Wow.
Neil Robertson's semi-final ambitions are still alive. 2-0 down, he's into the semi-finals. And there you see exactly what it means to him. One of the best matches I've ever seen in the Premier League.
Wasn't it just? I wonder if it was down to vegan power. This is how they finished Group A. Bingham, and that wonderful win from Neil Robertson puts both of those players into the semi-finals. And Group B looks like this. Judd Trump, man of the moment, world number 1, and 4 times champion of the world John Higgins, also making it through to the last 4. Former world number 7, the great WT, is with me now. I think it's fair to say we probably have the best 4 from this season's Premier League in the last 4.
Yeah, in fairness, I suppose Dingham Way can count himself a little unlucky, having been 3-1 in front to lose. 2-1 in front to lose the match 4-2. But I think the 4 best players have got to the semis.
2 of the players might think their name is on the trophy. John Higgins, who got the wild card in, and obviously you mentioned Neil Robertson, 2-0 down last week to Ding, came back to win 4-2. Do the players think like that, or with the 4 of them all think they're in with equal chance?
The fact that they're playing tournament play all year around now, week after week, they're playing in these tournaments, the PTC tournaments. Everybody's match sharp now, so they don't think about anything like that. The first match we're going to look forward to in a minute, Stuart Bingham and John Higgins, I think that could be a classic.
Yeah, let's talk about that one now. Let's have a look actually what the bookies make of it, because both matches, when you get down to the last 4, it's impossible to choose a winner, isn't it? The bookies slightly fancy John Higgins. He's 15-8 on, meaning obviously you've got to put 15 on to win the 8. Bingham 6-4, and if you do fancy a little flutter on how the frames are going to go, you can bet on them as well. As you can probably see, that the bookies think if Bingham is going to win it, it's going to be in a decider, whereas John Higgins, if he's going to win, it's going to be around the 5-2, 5-3 mark. Is that fair? Best of 9?
Well, I think so. But I mean, Bingham has played so well in this tournament. The only thing, he's got a terrible record against John Higgins. Hasn't beaten for many, many years, and be interested to see how he copes with that. But Bingham, all of a sudden, he's been not a journeyman, but he's not been there for a long time. All of a sudden, the last couple of years, he's become a force now, and Bingham can win any tournament he plays in.
Come on, give me a name. Who's going to win the semi-final?
I've got a sneaky feeling for Bingham tonight.
Do you think Stuart's going to go all the way?
Sneaky feeling.
Well, who will he be playing? Because the second one is so tough to call. It really is. You've got former world number 1 and world champion as well, Neil Robertson, against man of the moment. He becomes the 10th player ever to be world number 1, Judd Trump, the future of snooker as well. How on earth are you going to call this one, Willie?
Well, both these players are just playing out of this world snooker. Judd Trump last week played beautiful snooker in Bulgaria. Neil Robertson was one of the best potters we've ever seen. So that second game is going to be so hard to call, and I think this crowd here in Grimsby are going to be in for a crack at that one.
Yeah, there might even be a few big breaks along the way. Let's see how the bookies rate this one. More difficult to tell the winner from the loser. 13-8 on Judd. Neil 5-4. Just slight favourite Judd Trump, and if you do fancy a little flutter with the frame score, as you can see, again very similar to our first match, 5-3 if Judd's going to win it, and if Neil's going to win it, it's going to go all the way again, 5.5 to 1 for 5-4. If that I'm throwing lots of numbers at you, but the gamblers amongst us know exactly what I'm talking about. Very rarely do the bookies get it wrong, and they obviously think the winner will come from a late 5-3 or 5-4.
Well, in fairness, these two players, I mean, they could play each other 10 times, and maybe it could be 5 each. You know, that's how close they are. Judd Trump's certainly the man in form, so I think Judd Trump had to be favourite in this match.
So you're going Judd Bingham final tomorrow night?
Judd Bingham final.
Okay, all right, let's get on with it with our first semi-final. Time to meet the players, as always, introduced by our MC, Mr. John McDonald. And first up, it's Stuart Bingham.
Welcome, we're coming to you live from the Auditorium here in Grimsby. Matchroom Sport proudly present the semi-finals of the PartyPoker.com Premier League Snooker, live on Sky Sports HD. Well, the best of 9 frames, a 25-second shot clock. Our referee in charge of the action is Mr. Paul Collier. It's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, would you please welcome the former Australian Open champion, Stuart Bingham!
Stuart Bingham making your debut in this season's Premier League, and I think it's fair to say a lot of people didn't expect you to make the last 4. Does that mean you're in a no-lose situation at the moment?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the atmosphere and enjoying the experience. It's been great. Obviously, normally watch it on TV, but being part of it's great.
The last time we saw you in the Premier League a few weeks back, you played twice in one night. You played 12 frames. You won them all. You got 4 tons as well. We won't talk about the money in case your fiancé is watching. But how do you try and guarantee that you bring that sort of form with you into the semi-final?
I've sort of every night I've played in this, I've just sort of attacked really, just go for it. Say I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm here and just enjoying a moment.
And when you look at the league form out of both leagues, not just yours, you're the only player that didn't lose a league game. So you must really fancy your chances, not just tonight, but tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, obviously we're in the last four, and everyone is a world-class player. So I'll take by tomorrow, if I'm still unbeaten, I'll take that.
You'll take that. Good luck. Stuart Bingham, everyone. Stuart's opponent is the 4 times champion of the world.
And ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the former Premier League champion and 4 times champion of the world, John Higgins!
Oh, baby, I was born with the fast fuse and the time to love, just to see it to abuse. Oh, baby, I was born.
John Higgins, one of my favourite players of all time. The last time you won the Premier League was in the last century, in 1999. Why have we waited so long for you to get this far and possibly win it again?
Ronnie O'Sullivan. So no, he's won, I think, the last 10 years. So it's been pretty hard to do well on this.
We talked just before about Stuart Bingham's league form. How different is a league game to when you get down to the last 4 and it's now the best of 9?
I think this is what we're used to now, playing now just to win it. It's a little bit difficult when you're playing 6 frames and then sometimes you're playing for a draw. You maybe only need a draw. So now it's just first to 5 frames. That's what we're used to doing.
And you're obviously 4 times champion of the world. You're having a good season as well. How do you rate your form so far compared to previous years when you've won the world title?
Oh, it was a lot better than last year. Now, last year it was non-existent, so that was my only aim this year, to come in and play a little bit better. So I'm doing that, so I'm happier.
Good luck. John Higgins, everyone. Thanks, John. Hey, I remind if you do have any questions regarding anything tonight or tomorrow night for that matter, send a tweet to @SkySnooker. It's the best of 9 for a place in tomorrow night's final. Let's join our boys in the box. Willie Thorne, and first up, Phil Yates.
Thank you very much, Andy. So then, the round robin's over, pressure squarely on.
John Higgins,
and the whole feel of the tournament changes with the knockout phase.
There's clearly been some tremendous matches in this tournament, Phil. I don't think we've seen a better match than last Thursday evening when we were in Durham and we saw Robertson. He had to win 4-2 and he did exactly that by winning the last 3 frames. It was a fantastic match.
Well, I think you were right, Willie. Ding Junhui was extremely unfortunate not to be in the semi-finals. Robertson's fighting qualities came through, though. And I think this semi-final is going to be intriguing. Based on their form just in this tournament, I would make Bingham favourite. Based on their previous meetings, John Higgins is an odds-on favourite.
Yes, I couldn't remember how many years it is since he beat him, Phil, when I was at the top of the show with Andy, but I'm sure you'll tell me now. It's been quite some time, hasn't it?
Well, Bingham actually won their very first meeting, 5-4, 1999 Welsh Open. Since then, Higgins has rattled off 5 consecutive victories against Stuart.
Well, and he's seen a couple of safety shots played, and I'm noticing that back cushion is flying a little bit. Bingham's first shot, he came in and out of baulk. That shot looked to be perfect pace, and that came out of baulk as well. If it comes to the safety battle, you'd have to say that John Higgins is a real big favourite, but break building wise now, Bingham can compete with anybody in the world.
Well, he's already won £23,000 from the tournament, Stuart. By making the semi-finals, he's guaranteed at least another 12,500 more. And he's put together the highest break of the event, 135. So he's in for a bonanza, whatever occurs.
He loves being called Ballroom Bingham, and there was another example of he just got his fair share of flukes, bless him.
And nestling in behind a ball colour isn't all that useful when the reds are tightly packed. When they're open like this, it's gold dust. And Higgins taking his first extension of this semi-final.
He needs to hit this half ball and try and leave the cue ball right in the jaws of the top pocket here, but he's hit it quite thick. So the first mistake There's certainly one available in the middle. There's certainly one available that's nearest the black spot. So this is the first chance in this match.
Time extension.
2 time extensions per frame are allowed, and both players have now taken half of their allowance in the opening frame.
Well, it looks like that red will pass in the middle, doesn't it? It's obviously must be very close, must be very tight. He's taking it on though. Wow, I think he got a little bit of a kick there. That sounded very funny. There wasn't a lot of room, was there? He could certainly hit the top jaw. He certainly couldn't see the middle of the pocket.
Well, again, another pot to the middle pocket, but a tester. Especially at that pace. Oh, delightful.
Well, that just shows you the confidence of Stuart Bingham. I mean, a lot of players would have refused that, especially at the pace. As you can see, he would have been leaving reds on. He's so confident at the minute, Stuart. I think the PTCs have definitely brought the players that are not regular top, say, 10 players, Phil. I think all these PTC tournaments, they're all match sharp, aren't they?
And no one enters more tournaments than Stuart. We have 10 players to a championship events in Europe, and 3 of them over in China. Stuart's played in those as well, and he's won 2 of them.
9.
He really is a lovely guy as well. Stuart, he's been on the circuit when I was still playing. He'd been on a few years then, and he's a great guy, a very good golfer, an excellent golfer, plays off a 5 handicap.
16.
You won't be too pleased with that. Play to go by that red, to leave the red just above the black in the same pocket. Misjudged that completely.
Foul. Stuart Bingham 16.
Careless.
John Higgins 4.
Simultaneous that was, Bingham owning up as Paul Collier called the foul.
Well, Stuart felt one of these 2 reds would pot, but he was about to play the pot, but John Higgins decided against it.
Now here's the foul he called himself. Yes, you saw the hand there just touching the side of the red. No hesitation in owning up.
And we say it many times, don't we, Phil, that sportsmanship in snooker is normally very, very good. Snooker and golf, both sticklers for the rules.
Well, Willie, we thought his red to the middle pocket a few moments ago was good. That was even better.
I must admit they're the kind of shots that have been his Achilles heel over the years. He's been working with his coach, and that's something they've been working on, trying to hit more centre ball. I mean, Stuart's been a player over the years that's always favoured kind of what we call help inside. If it's a right-hand pot, he'd play with a touch of right-hand side. If it's a left-hand pot, play with a touch of left. That's gone wrong. Played a kiss that red half ball. But Stuart's beginning to find the centre of the white now, and that's why he's becoming so very consistent. against John Higgins, you can't afford to have these kind of chances and keep missing. That's the third chance he's had in this frame, and he's still only 22 points in front. He needs to score more. John Higgins always been one of the best safety players in the game.
Yes, when he won his second world ranking title in the International Open, he outdueled Steve Davis in the safety department in that match, and Higgins was a teenager at the time. By the way, must mention Steve Davis yesterday in the UK Championship final qualifying round. He beat Jamie Burnett 6-2, so he's going to be at York next week playing Ali Carter in the last 32. And the 55-year-old, 6 times world champion, finished off the match against Burnett with a 1-4-1 total clearance. Fantastic.
Safety normally is forte, not this time. It's a little bit awkward here to stun around the back of the black, because the red that's on the cushion is the direct line he'd like to play. So when you're playing a little stun run through, it's a lot harder to play him. That's why he's played for a bought colour, and I don't blame him at all for playing that way. And that's turned out to be absolutely perfect. Well played.
When Bingham's spotting lengthy pots and middle range pots on a regular basis, he's a handful for anyone.
Eight.
It just needs to get the 4 reds that are in open play, and that should seal the opening frame. Doesn't have to worry about the reds that are on the cushion.
$14.
I'm just thinking, Phil, if he wins this frame, it'll be 13
15.
frames on the trot, won't it? And won 6-0, 6-0 the 2 previous matches.
Yes, and those 13 frames on the trot would be against the world number 1 and 2 world champions.
21.
In the group phase, was engaged in 4 matches. He collected 7 points,
22.
more than anyone else in the tournament. He won his last 3 matches against Ding Junhui 4-2, and then 2 6-0s, as Willie says, against Mark Selby and Neil Robertson. And also, let's go back to his very first outing, his debut in the Premier League, up at the Sands Centre in Carlisle.
29.
He was 3-0 up on Sean Murphy in that one, 51-0 ahead. Mr. Red to a middle pocket he should have potted, and Murphy somehow salvaged a draw.
30.
So it could have been a perfect record quite easily.
Glance at the scoreboard will tell him there's 52 points in front, so just 1 more red needed. Probably play the red into the corner just because he can hold for the black a lot easier, but the red in the middle is on as well, but this is certainly the easier red.
$38. $45. Stuart Bingham, 45.
The break ends at 45, 67 points the difference, 59 on the table, 2 snookers required by Higgins. I think he's just looking for a little bit of potting practice, table time.
Table time, exactly, Phil. First frame, you need to get used to the table, the speed of the table. I suppose if he did get 3 reds and 3 blacks, he might just try the 2 snookers he requires, but Higgins is a master at getting snookers.
8.
We'll try and leave an angle here on the black to move those 2 reds into play. Needs to check up a little bit, and he has done. This will be okay, because he'll flick one red over the corner pocket and leave the other red on the cushion. So if you just go red-black, the pot in behind the black, sorry, the snooker in behind the black would be quite easy, as long as it stays where it is. Oh dear, that's end of frame.
Yeah. John Higgins, 9 frame conceded.
Yes, this time John Higgins concedes. Stuart Bingham has made by far the better start. The 4 times world champion trails 1-0. Look forward to. Not a bad kiss. In fact, a very good one.
I think you can just see the red just below the pink, and that'll take the path back to balk okay in between those 2 reds. Might gotta be careful he doesn't push one over the left-hand corner here, though. He's okay.
Just thinking, you know, Willie, it wasn't in the dim and distant past, 3 or 4 years ago now, that players quite legitimately were complaining about being rusty because of the gaps between tournaments. Now it's the other way around. John Higgins has played so much snooker of late. He was involved in 2 PTC events the week before last. He won one of them in Gloucester, got to the final of the other in Sofia in Bulgaria, and he played almost 90 competitive frames.
Some players don't play 90 frames in a season, do they? That's a massive amount of frames. Of course, these PTCs are virtually every week now, aren't they? And I think there's 2 again next week, or the qualifiers for those 2 are next week. Well, he needs that red to go safe because he completely mishit that safety. But John Higgins yet to have an easy chance. Okay, there's a couple of reds on here. Neither of them are straightforward.
The pot was useful, weaving the cue ball through all of those reds without making any contact. Super, and the weight on the white couldn't have been better.
Yes, this is his first real chance in the match, isn't it, really? The chance he had in the last frame was when the frame was almost dead.
6. 7.
At first glance, it looks like he can't really pop this black and avoid the kiss on the red just below it, and he's actually almost not on the black. So he's got to be a little bit careful he doesn't catch this red too thick, because the white will end up near the cushion. Yeah, it wasn't bound to go right, that one. Caught it just that little bit too thick.
14.
Now this has to be really delicate if he's playing to hold on the black.
15.
Ooh, that looked high to me when it started off.
$22. 23.
I'll tell you what, Willie, John Higgins has come an awfully long way since way back when he was playing in the Regal Masters in Scotland. Remember, as a wild card, and you went to that Celtic match together. No one knew him back then.
$28.
This is a strong Celtic supporter, is John, and he'd have been disappointed today with the result. They beat Barcelona one week and lose to, who was it?
29.
Partick Thistle or somebody today, I don't know.
Inverness Caledonian Thistle, I believe it was.
Played magnificent against Barcelona. So it's a good recovery, because a couple of shots ago, I was just saying that, he just had a bounce off the cushion. That wasn't his fault, that came off the cushion a little bit faster than it went on. Played for the red
36.
in the middle. I was about to say he's in prime position. He's struggling a little bit now. There's one available in the middle, the one that's just below the pink there, but he's playing the cut back into the corner. This is playing up for bought colour.
John Higgins, 36.
He consider himself a little unlucky there not to have got more than that.
Well, with a 36-point advantage, the one thing Higgins won't mind about that shot is the brown going safe.
Well, that's one fluke each, but this time the fluke has gone against him.
Stuart Bingham, 4.
This is a real test of Kew. We're looking right down the line there, aren't we? And what a beautiful execution of that shot. He's just cues the ball so well now, Stuart.
Here with Stuart tonight is a gentleman by the name of Stephen Feeney, who's the inspiration behind Sight Right, which is an alignment improvement. And I'll tell you what, whatever theories that Stephen is putting into Stuart's mind, they are very much working.
Yes, I mentioned earlier on in commentary that Stuart used to find great difficulty in finding the centre of the white, but Stephen's certainly got him, certainly aligning the balls beautifully at the moment.
Yes, Mr. Feeney, who's a former bank manager, he doesn't just work in snooker, he also works in golf with very good results as well. And now it's Bingham who's going to the bank with big checks.
11.
John Higgins, of course, was 36 points in front a few moments ago.
12.
It's going to evaporate very quickly where these balls are. You mentioned the brown, that could be the key ball in this frame now.
$19.
Try and leave an angle here. I think the bottom red of those three near the pink will pop, but he'll
20.
probably play the little cannon here just to bring the pink into play as well. Got to be a little bit careful. If he doesn't want to kiss the red full ball, needs a half ball kiss here because he could stick on it. Good shot.
$27. 28.
Look at the pot success rate there
30.
for Stuart Bingham. No sizable breaks yet, but 97%.
commentator's curse.
Stuart Bingham, 30.
Well, that's certainly one I didn't expect him to miss. For all money, it looked like he was going to take the frame at that visit. Just slightly the wrong side of the blue to make the next shot a certainty. Just coming round to see if that red will still pot. Just needed to go, as we see the white come on and off the cushion, just needed to go top side of the blue. It's just finished a little bit short.
Six.
Excellent safety shot. It's just if it reaches.
John Higgins, 6.
It's not quite landed. That was a very clever shot. Stuart knew that he would be bringing red towards the right-hand corner, but purposely played it thick so the red came on and off the cushion back in the middle of the table. Very good safety shot, the shot of the night so far.
And you get the feeling this is going to be a very important frame. Both players have had chances. And it's still very much up for grabs.
Excellent reply.
Entirely unintentional, but he'll take it.
1. Stuart Bingham, 1.
That's the thing in snooker, when you have a little bit of luck, you have to take advantage of it. Be ruthless.
Foul. And a miss. Stuart Bingham, 7.
Well, giving 7 points away, one thing. Leaving Bingham right in amongst them, entirely another.
One.
We've talked about the brown on a couple of occasions, and you can see how important it is now. Can't score enough at this visit without getting the brown to win the frame, and that's a poor shot. Not hard enough.
6.
It is on in both the middle and the corner, but I think the one in the corner is a little bit fraught with danger. You may even play the snooker here. Yeah, no attempt at a pot there. That's a very clever shot.
Stuart Bingham, 6.
And if Higgins wants to impart side here, has to jack up the cue because the white is so close to the top cushion.
Foul.
Yes, too much side imparted.
And a miss. Stuart Bingham, 7.
Now Paul Collier calls foul and a
Free ball.
miss. Then he gets down and looks, and it's a free ball as well. Double whammy.
Pink ball.
And the fact that that almost, well, it does mean there was an extra red on the table now. He's just checking to see now if he can win the frame without putting the brown, and he can. That back cushion is definitely lively.
6.
Good pot, but
7.
the cue ball too close to the cushion. So Bingham 20 ahead. the blue and the yellow will leave Higgins requiring a snooker.
Stuart Bingham, 7.
Yes, he had to play it at that pace to miss the in-off. Little glance at the commentary position to show how disappointed he was with that. Now this will be a good shot when it popped the green and try and kiss the brown out. So a little bit of right-hand side here. One thing for certain, he should make contact with either the brown or the blue, but he'd obviously like to make contact with the brown first. Wow.
Foul.
Everything's happening this frame.
John Higgins, 2. Stuart Bingham, 5.
Well, even with the 5 penalty points, Bingham still needs the green. Higgins retains hope.
I thought where the brown was there, Stuart might have took the long green on there for game ball. It's a clever shot. Well, the pot is on for the green, but there's no point in taking the pot on where the brown is, so I think John would possibly play safe here. It's too risky to play the pot. Now can Stuart get through to the potting angle?
Well, clearly can't get through to any angle coming off the ball cushion. Good contact.
Excellent shot. Had to take the risk there, knowing he was pushing the green towards the pocket, but he hit it absolutely perfectly. Even though John Higgins could see the green, he just decided to play just to push it past the brown and maybe get the snook up. But has it gone past the middle pocket? Has it gone past the middle pocket? I think it just has. This is one of those, do I play the pot and leave the white in the jaws of the pocket, or do I play the safety? Decided on the safety. And it looks to be a very good one.
The frame 18 minutes in duration, by Premier League standards, approaching a mini marathon. And the more it goes on, the more important it will be psychologically. And remember, Bingham only needs one ball to leave Higgins requiring a snooker.
Well, he's done what he had to do, win the safety battle, which we thought he wouldn't do in this match, but he's won that safety battle. Can he pot this game ball? Well played, Stuart Bingham. Needed another 2 chances at least to win that frame, but barring snookers, that's exactly what he's done. Will he ever lose a frame in the Premier League ever again? This could be
Bingham,
14
3.
on the trot.
And a point made before as well. 14 on the trot against absolutely top quality opposition. the winners of last season's major ranking events got into this tournament. And Bingham was the first one to qualify when he won the Australian Goldfields Open in the summer of 2011. It was worth the wait to actually play.
He had to take the risk there and play the slow pot on the blue, on the brown I should say, because he could get in behind the blue to snooker behind the black should it gone in. So it was worth the risk, but that's certainly the end of frame now. 4.
Stuart Bingham hasn't made a half-century break, but don't get the impression that he's played poorly. He's played very well indeed, and John Higgins in early trouble. John Higgins 0, Stuart Bingham 2. So just to repeat, this isn't like the normal Premier League fare with bringing you the 6-frame matches. This is now first to 5, the best of 9 frames. 2-0. If you're 2-0 down, Willie, that's manageable. 3-0, big problems.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and of course, if you do go after 4 frames normally, we'd have an interval. This is a match where you play straight through. Usually if you say, you can't expect a player to win all 4 frames before an interval, but the fact that there's now no interval, whoever's in front, you'd favour them to win the match. Sometimes when they go into the interval, they think, oh, I've only got to be careful now, just protect the lead, and sometimes your thinking changes. So I think whoever's in front, it's definitely better there's no interval.
I actually like the concept of no intervals in best of 9 frame matches. I think you need some kind of break in a best of 11, but over 9 frames, just get on with it.
Well, he can get through to the potting angle of this red, and he could play it at a weight to get onto the black as well. Got away with that one. The best safety shot John's ever played. The only good thing is the fact that the cue ball will be going in towards the pack of red should he pot it. So that's what's made that shot a lot more difficult. So it's amazing sometimes you can play a bad shot and it can get you a chance, and that's what's happened there.
One of those situations though, Willie, where Higgins has a couple of pots on, neither of them easy. Mind you, he made it look easy, right into the heart of the pocket.
Six.
Now that caught an awful lot of the right-hand jaw. I'm very surprised it went in. I think Higgins is pleasantly surprised.
10.
Not a bad pot there, Willie, and did really well to hold the cue ball.
Yes, it's always going to be hard to keep the cue ball somewhere near the baulk line there. Really does have to make this chance count. This doesn't appear to be perfect position. He's going to be faced with a slightly difficult pot near the cushion.
15.
I think he's got just enough angle to be able to punch it in. Oh, he can play the second red, which helps. He could play for the black in the same pocket here. Doesn't necessarily have to play for the black in the middle. Decided to play it for the middle.
16. $23. $24.
Didn't want to play the cannon into the reds at this stage, but he'll have to now. The outside, the two directly above the black, the one on the right hand side, just trying to hit that full ball and just push the cue ball through. The red is available in the opposite corner. So just push through the red. He's hit the other red first. Now just have a look at here. What he was trying to do is hit the outside red there, but you see he just caught the front red, and that's the reason he didn't get the good cannon. But luckily he's on this one. Good recovery.
32.
And now a super angle to go into the bunch off the blue.
Yes, it's one of those you don't have to play it pacey either, because you know you're going to push the red towards the corner. Look at the way those reds have gone. You see, when you put break button, you have to look at the pack field, don't you? And of course, John Higgins knew there he was bound to be pushing red towards the corner pocket, and that one shot now should win him the frame.
$38. $45. $46.
So already that's the highest break of the match so far. Plenty more to come, you would assume.
Well, you saw the cue ball bounce there, and that took all the spin off the cue ball.
53.
Just keep an eye on the cue ball here. You'll see it just bounce, which of course takes all the spin out of it and makes the angle come off slightly narrower. You'd want it to be right up on those two reds in the corner.
Time extension.
You still fancy him to pot this, but as you can see, there's plenty of reds on should he miss it for a Bingham counter-attack. So this is very important, especially when you're 2-0 behind. Well done.
54.
Well, not for the first time in the match, 57. And done by what he believes to be quite a springy bounce.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The tables have played beautifully. Okay, we use different venues every week. Usually the tables have been very, very consistent. Tonight, the cushions are slightly adrift. They're coming up a little bit faster than they're going on the cushion. But another excellent pot. Of course, there's still 67 on. So you can see him just rolling up behind the brown here. Maybe he's decided to try and put a colour safe. Yeah, he never misses a trick, that John Higgins.
John Higgins, 58.
Has to be so careful here, Higgins, because one chance Bingham will take it on because the ball's in a very favourable position for a counter clearance. He's got to be careful here. Avoiding the kiss on the two reds near the pink is going to be tough. They were the two balls. They were always going to be tough. Why you no listen?
And Bingham here does have some leeway with the colours, doesn't have to concentrate solely on the black. Having potted the blue, he's 52 behind. 59 on the table.
6.
Going back to when John Higgins played to put the yellow safe.
7.
Okay, he's put it slightly out of commission, but this shows you can even be a little bit careless on that shot. He tried to put it on the cushion. Where the yellow is, it's easy to get in behind that in half a dozen shots time. Let's just see what happens. That yellow's on the cush. Higgins would consider himself, well, I've got another chance. But it's just far enough off the cush to make it potable. That's an excellent shot. Got to be careful here. Needs to finish low on the black. Doesn't want to finish high. Now he can play the
15.
cannon. One good shot here gives him a great chance. And that's given him a great chance.
$22.
You're kidding me. And he left the perfect angle on the black to move the yellow out and stay on the last red. That was so careless.
And Higgins will be so relieved. His first frame about to be put on the board. And that 14 frame winning streak of Stuart Bingham in this tournament is just about to be ended.
$8. 9. $16. 18. 21. 25. 30.
More like it from John Higgins, a 58 break, then a moment of anxiety. In the end though, over the line. Bingham 2, Higgins 1. So Bingham breaks off in frame 4. The previous frame was only the 6th occasion during this tournament he's actually lost a frame. He's went 21, lost 6. Pretty good strike rate given the opposition he's coming up against.
Yes, he may live to regret that. Very easy ready missed it on the cushion when he could have possibly gone 3-0 in front. Because all that does to your opponent is gives them a little bit of confidence, as you saw there with that shot. And the kiss on the red directly above the black now gives them a chance to score heavily. It's turned out okay, but he'd like to hit that red full ball to break a few more reds out of the pack.
8. 9. 9.
That's a little bit careless. Didn't get top side of the blue. Now, if you were buzzing, you could play this shot with plenty of confidence.
14.
The kiss could go wrong when he's trying to get onto the black.
15.
Just about okay. Obviously pushed the red towards the black spot, but it will go directly beyond its own spot, so even if it does not go on its spot, the red still should be pottable. So as near as possible without touching, but the fact that the red's slightly to the left of the black, this red should still be pottable.
22. 23.
Good angle here. One developing shot, and it could be a frame-winning chance. Not bad, but it could have been better. A lot better.
Yes, I arced the cue ball perfectly, didn't he, into the pack there? You saw 30. The cue ball swerve.
Sure.
And if they caught that red slightly thicker, this would have been dead straight on this red. The fact that he hit it thin means he needs all the long tackle out. So this should be okay to get around the back of the black.
Time extension.
2 time extensions allowed per frame. Higgins taking his right here.
Decision time.
31.
You either play the cannon onto the 3 reds to the left of the black there, or you play for the loose red. As always, these players so aggressive, but this time it's not worked out well.
38.
One thing guaranteed to get under the skin of the top players is when they go into the bunch and they don't drop on anything too kindly.
Well played. This shows you how one shot pull can change a match, doesn't it?
39.
Bingham 2-1 in front. Okay, he was a few points behind in frame 3, but he was favourite to win the frame where the balls were, and he missed a very easy red with the rest on the cushion. And since then, he's not had a shot.
And Higgins in the match, pretty sharp with the rest. He's used it 4 times. He spotted 4 balls.
41.
And now in absolutely prime position.
.42.
This is where all the PTC tournaments are good for these players, because they're used now to playing under pressure all the time. This would have been last
49.
season when sometimes they'd go a month without playing. This kind of situation, you think you'd get a little bit excited, think, well, I should win the frame here.
50.
But they're so used to playing under pressure now. It's almost a formality. He'll get the remaining 2 reds that he needs to make the frame safe.
Yes, this time last week, John Higgins was playing
57.
in the last 32 of the Bulgarian Open at the Princess Hotel in Sofia.
58.
Now he's in a more traditional snooker hotbed, that of Grimsby.
And what a hotbed it's been over the years, Phil, hasn't it? In Ray Edmonds, Mike Hallett, Dean Reynolds, Sid Hood. Some fabulous players from Grimsby.
Well, in the scheme of things, it's quite a small
65.
town, but back in 1975, they had the World Amateur Champion, Ray Edmonds, you've mentioned him.
66.
The National Junior Champion, Mike Hallett, one of our colleagues, of course. And the English Amateur Champion, Sid Hood. All from this place.
73.
Well, this frame is now
74.
definitely under lock and key. 2-2.
$81. $81 on the frame, John Higgins.
Stuart Bingham concedes, and so John Higgins with the highest break of the match so far draws level at 2 frames each. When he was 2-0 down, it was something of a worry for the Scot. Now though at 2-2, he is the man with the momentum, and Willie, that in snooker is a big asset.
Without doubt. I mean, it's amazing how many times in a match your mind can go to and fro from feeling great and feeling a little bit negative. I mean, Stuart Bingham now be sitting in that chair thinking, well, I was 2-0 in front, should have gone 3-0 in front, and now all of a sudden I've got to be really careful again now. It's a different mindset. You have there's so many of those mindsets during the best of 9. 9. 5 frames remaining. Before the match I fancied Bingham, especially the way he started. I think Bingham really needs to win this frame to get his confidence back. It's amazing, isn't it? If he had to knock the blue off a spot with a safety shot, the white would have hit the blue. The fact that he moved it off its spot made it go back into baulk. A little bit of good fortune there for John. Stuart came round to see if these 2 reds were set, so that means he's playing the thin safety shot. And they were set. Well played. He did have a look at that. That's not a fluke. 1.
Now at first glance, the kiss on the yellow looks really good, but it's very straight. No way he could manoeuvre the cue ball where he wanted it, and so keeping things tight, sensibly.
Wanted to rest right in the side of the pack there, didn't he? Just flicked off them. This is cuttable. This is not straightforward. Normally you'd go into the pink here, but you can't guarantee going into the pink where the red is, so he might play for a loose red.
Six. 7.
This is just what Stuart needed, really, having been sat down for the previous 2 frames, with the Higgins making breaks of 58 and 81 in taking those 2 frames. Has a very precious little table time in the last 2 frames. Needed a chance, and he's got that chance now. Can he make it count? think once again
14.
we've got a slightly strange bounce off the cushion. I'm not sure he's on this red. Must be very tight. You may have to play with a little bit of right hand side here just to straighten the red up. Decided against it and played an
Bingham,
excellent
14.
safety shot.
You're right though, Willie, you picked it up immediately in the top of the first frame. The cushions, no doubt, they are fiery.
This is one of those where as thin as you like and you've got every chance of getting in behind brown and yellow. If you hit it thick, you leave the white down at this end of the table. Well played. A miss hit.
Another indication of just how well he's potting from distance, Bingham. Delivering the cue with more authority than I think I've ever seen him do. And in snooker terms, he's no spring chicken. 36. So only 1 year the junior of John Higgins.
This has certainly been a late developer, as Stuart. He's been a fabulous player for the last 15, 20 years, and it's only the last 2 or 3 years he's established himself in the top 16. It was always a wonder to me why he'd never done it earlier.
Yes, he's well in there at the moment, world number 11. Got to the final of the Wuxi Classic, a major ranking event in China right at the start of this season. And in that final, even though he was heavily beaten by Ricky Walden, he made a 1-4-7 break.
12.
Yeah, that's never been his problem, break building. He's always been one of the best players in the world at that department. Tactically,
13.
he's certainly improved in the last few years, and nice little shot here of the cannon into the 2 reds directly above the black will leave the other 3 reds into the opposite corner.
$20. $21.
You'd like to have been straighter on this black. You're going to have to play another cannon now just to slow the cue ball down. It was a little bit careless that from Stuart, not finishing better on the black than this. Now how's it worked out? Absolutely perfectly. Well played.
28. 29. $35. 36.
Looking increasingly likely that Bingham is going to regain the lead. You don't get the Reds any better space than this, Willie.
Yes, especially when you're 58 points in front and you only need
43.
red and colour. Good performance this from Stuart. As we mentioned, he'd been kept off the table, so he needed to get back in front again, and he's done just that.
$51. $52.
Well, this is Bingham's best break of the evening, eclipsing a run of 45 in frame 1.
60.
Apart from your stats, Phil, you wouldn't really want to make a century tonight, would you?
67.
There's no £1,000 bonus.
Pride, Willie, pride.
68.
I'm sure you'll tell me he must have had quite a few centuries now in his career, Stuart.
Well, this would be the 182nd in professional competition, and it would be his 20th this year.
75.
20 before Christmas. Pretty good. Mind you, Jed Tremp, who's
76.
on a little later on, he's made 38 in professional competition this season, which is so far ahead of the pace to break the all-time record. It's ridiculous.
$83.
Purposely playing up for the pink or brown there, just to make the position on the
84.
yellow slightly easier. He hasn't got perfect on this pink though, so not guaranteed to get on the yellow. If he could have bounced off that cushion then, he could have found himself behind the green, but he hasn't. He's finished perfect.
90. $92. $95.
Oh, this has been played to perfection. Very good break.
$99.
There we were, worrying for Stuart Bingham, saying that John Higgins was the man with momentum, and all of a sudden, Bingham back in stroke.
110.
Back in stroke, back in front. Stuart Bingham 3, John Higgins 2.
Bingham to break.
So Stuart Bingham breaks off, looking to consolidate on that 117 break in the previous frame, his 5th century of the tournament.
You could see the disappointment in Stuart's face there that he hadn't managed to get the cue ball back into board. Luckily for him, he's left John Higgins hampered by the brown. That's the reason he's not taking the long red on down the left. He's just playing the safety shot. This needs good cueing if he's taking this on, which obviously he looks like he is doing. And he's got away with it again. I just love watching John Higgins play his safety shots. He always covers one half of the table up all the time. The only amazing thing is he's behind on the safety exchange at the moment, percentage-wise. He's at 76%. Stuart's 88%, so far tonight, Stuart's winning the safety battles.
I think another telling number, Willie, is the pot success rate from distance. Higgins at 33%. Bingham right up there at 75%.
Yes, in all departments, especially in the pot success rate, you have to be over 90 really to compete at this level. But in the long pot success rate, anything above 50% is great.
Well, there's the total pot success rate. Not a lot to choose between them. Bingham, though, is over that requisite 90% mark. And as if to prove our point, Willie.
I mean, it's definitely working with this coach he's working with, because he used to miss that kind of shot so often. He's just finding the centre of the white now and playing them beautifully. Decided to try and make something happen. Everything's tied up at this end of the table. He's made something happen, but it's not going to be straightforward to get onto a colour. May have to play the red that's on the black spot.
4.
And come round for the blue. I don't think he can play this at pace and get top side of the blue.
Time extension.
Well, it looks like the one on the black spot. He can screw around 2 cushions to get onto blue or green.
Yeah.
Certainly looks the better choice, but he's decided to get the rest out. Can't quite see what colour he's going to play for off this red.
And that horrible extended spider.
Amazing, you can see how the V's are there. Remember years ago, Phil, I can see him not getting the colour there.
5.
Years ago, they used to have them a lot sharper than that. And because it was thicker, your cue, by the time you played the run-through, your cue would get stuck in it. It's amazing after all the years. They've developed one now where you can play that shot without any problem.
Stuart Bingham,
Going
5.
back to the shot that Stuart just played, I thought the one on the black spot, he could have screwed around the table and got onto blue or bought colour. He was up off that shot very, very quickly. He knew he'd hit that far too thick. It's not obviously a frame-winning opportunity because the black is out of commission. When he pots the pink, then I'll go back onto his own spot, which will probably make that out of position as well. But that little flick may help. That's brought the black slightly into play. Not easy to get onto the next red, though, from the pink. Is he going to play for the gap between the black and the red, for that red on the black spot? That's what he's playing. He's got there.
Seven.
He decided to take the alternative, but he was on that red on the black spot. That's the one that's going to cause him a problem. He needs to get rid of that as soon as possible. think what these tournaments have done, Phil, as well, players now are not frightened to win. When you're not competitive, when you're not playing regularly, all of a sudden getting over the winning line is a stumbling block.
14.
They're playing so often now that they're used to getting over the line.
15.
Well, there was that one particularly dark season, wasn't there, where there were 6 world ranking events, and basically that was it. If you weren't in the top 16, no Masters. And so it was really limited playing opportunities for someone like Stuart Bingham. It was maybe once every 6 weeks. Now it's more like once every 6 days, or maybe even more frequent than that.
21.
Well, you can see by his body language he's mishit that one. Let's just have a look from our other camera. Whether can he bend this over with a bit of side? The slower he plays this and the more side he gets on, it will turn over.
Time extension.
Now that's the second time extension Bingham has employed in this frame.
Foul. Just clip the pink as you went through. Stuart Bingham 21.
Well, he gave 6 points away there because his cue clipped the pink, as Paul Collier told us. And with 10 reds left, Bingham doesn't have any leeway in terms of time.
Very rarely a referee makes a mistake. I think he made one there actually, because I think what he didn't realise that Stuart was trying to play it in off the other red, and he probably thought because he'd hit that red it had had to hit the pink. I think it was a slight mistake, but Paul Collier, one of the best referees in the game.
Okay. Well, I just assumed that he meant his cue had clipped the pink, because there was no way the white did, and then you saw the replay and it was clear.
I think it's just because, like I say, he thought he could try and pot it direct, and because he'd missed it by miles, he thought it must have flicked the pink, but no problem. It didn't make the 6 points, doesn't make any difference at this stage. Very, very important frame for John Higgins. 4-2 behind. Tough to win. 3 all to play for. Trying to rest onto this red.
Higgins needed to be so accurate, caught the near jaw, and at that pace, no chance of going.
Well, this could be another Bingham special there, as we see John Higgins play this pot. He's left Stuart a real long straight red. He's been knocking these in tonight so far. Goodness me. I just can't tell you how much he's improved at that particular shot over the years. I used to practice with Stuart when I haven't played competitively for 14 years. I haven't played a frame in 14 years, but I used to play a lot with Stuart. You never fancied him knocking those long ones in when he was even when he was younger. Now he knocks them in for fun.
And what a bonus.
3.
What a weapon to have in the arsenal, isn't it? It went in so cleanly.
The next match, there'll be a lot more of those going in cleanly, won't they? Judd Trump and Neil Robertson. Goodness me, they pot long balls.
4.
We've got into that a little bit too much. Didn't mean to screw back that far.
10.
Amazing, isn't it? He knew himself. He just
Stuart Bingham,
slightly
10.
overscrewed that, and he was just trying to make sure he got onto the black, but that's very careless. Well, that could change the match once again. It was a frame he looked certain to win. He's looking in the commentary box and smiling. He knows that was a very bad mistake.
1.
And Higgins fully understands the importance of punishing Bingham's error.
Well, Higgins took a chance there to bring the black spot into play, i.e. put the black on its own spot, and it's gone wrong. Some people may think, well, why didn't you just play for a loose
Time
red?
extension.
He knew how important it was to clear that group of reds away from the black spot, but where they are now, if he'd gone on a red, that would have been virtually frame over. Bingham now is still favourite.
John Higgins, 8.
Well played. Very good shot.
Time extension.
Well, now both players have used both of their extensions. Could that be a frame winner? Smashing pot, and the outcome of the cue ball could not have been better.
Isn't it amazing when you have a player trapped and he's got no safety shot and they're forced into playing a pot? The number of times they pot them is amazing. What a fabulous shot that was.
7.
Well, shot choices confuse the mind, don't they? When you've only got one, you have clarity of thought.
Eight.
Well, he's left an angle again to play, if he wants to, on and off the cushion and bring that red into play that's just to the left of the red he's playing. Knowing that he's bound to be on the pink. He's going to need that red in play. Might not play it this time though.
15.
It's amazing, isn't it? If hits it full ball is perfect. Hits it quarter ball like that, it can go wrong. There's no more extensions left, so he's going to have to rush this one.
Yellow ball.
I think he's got the needle now. He's going all out for this, I think. Yeah, put himself under pressure, didn't he?
John Higgins, 15.
With the seconds running low there, I think he would have been well advised to play safe. A little flustered he was.
One.
Now he's got the perfect angle to play on the red on the cushion. He'd like to play on one of the loose reds, but decided to play on the loose red. Didn't want to risk playing with that little bit of side to get onto that cushion. He hasn't played this well though.
8.
Well, he's played it so poorly. This red is definitely missable. So much so he didn't even play it. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Mr. Ball Bingham.
And ideally on the black as well. Hard to take when you're the victim, Willie.
used to hate people when they kept snooks. Oh, can you believe it? Totally took his eyes off the pot, just made sure of the kiss on the red. Didn't even look at the pot.
One. The colour's not ideal, but they aren't too bad. Not one of them close to a cushion.
About the only place he could finish where he can't get on the red nicely. It was very, very awkward there, but okay, he's going to gain the advantage on the safety, but he'd have loved to have been on that red and tried to clear.
John Higgins, 3.
Not the best from John Higgins. Overhit that, made it a one cushion escape. It's an easy option, but got to make sure he doesn't push the red over the corner. Just about as good as he could have done, I think. Tried to push it in the middle of the side cushion, but if this goes in, John Higgins could get right back into this frame and match.
Stretching at maximum, very nice. Now wants some angle on the blue, and he's got it. As soon as the blue went in, Higgins looked at the scoreboard. He's 14 points behind, so he needs all 6 colours.
Yes, green to brown, obviously the important shot. Needs to get nicely on the green so he can get on the brown with the angle to get onto the blue, so this is the key shot. A bit straighter than he wanted. But that should be no problem now.
11.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me. What happened
15.
there? What was he thinking?
This is not easy. Horrible cueing.
Isn't it amazing now? We didn't think it'd make any difference, that 6 points that Bingham gave away. Okay, he would still possibly pot the black as well, but had that 6 points not been there, this could have made all the difference in the world. As it happens, I'm glad it's ended like this.
The black ball for parity. Water clearance. That's going to be a frame loss that will hurt Stuart Bingham badly. John Higgins 3, Stuart Bingham 3.
And you can see the look on his face, can't you, how important. He knew when he was 2-0 in front, he should have gone 3-0 in front. It's 3-2 in front, and should have definitely gone 4-2 in front. And they're kind of things that will definitely come and haunt you. The snooker gods sometimes don't let you forget those things.
Frame 7 begins with John Higgins re-energised.
Yes, should Stuart Bingham go on to lose this match, he knows that as he drives back down to London, he knows he should have won it, but what an awful break-off from John Higgins.
One.
Into the pink at pace. Just got to make sure there's no plants on though. It's always worth having a little look here, because the harder you play them, the more chance you've got of knocking a red in. Hit them absolutely perfect. Deserves to be on a red.
6.
Well, the pot is available, but it could have been a whole lot more friendly than that.
Oh, that's turned out good. That could have gone wrong, couldn't it? Any thin kiss on the brown, he would have been on nothing. He stopped in his tracks there, thought he'd hit it a little bit too hard. Just got to make sure you get the kiss here on the red, just above the red. If you miss the kiss, you could find yourself snookered. Well played.
12.
John Higgins has done very well to hang on to his coattails, hasn't he?
90.
There's an awful break-off though from John
20.
Higgins to leave the red in the middle.
We know that Stuart Bingham is cueing very
27.
well. The red he missed to the middle in the previous frame, which cost him the frame, was undoubtedly purely and simply a lapse of concentration.
28.
Can he retain sufficient concentration to make the most of this glorious opportunity?
This is exactly the position you put the balls in when you're practicing.
34.
It just has to retain good position now, and certainly should lead 4-3.
You know, Willie, without including the prize money that Stuart Bingham's already guaranteed from this tournament, he's already collected this season a little over £106,000. Now, when you consider he's been a professional since 1995, 17 years, this season, well, half a season, he's earned over 1/7 of his total career prize money. That's how well he's played, and that's how much snooker he's playing.
He's done it again. Just when he got near the
50.
winning post, he seems to do that quite often these days. He gets near the winning line and suddenly puts a quick one in and overhits them. It's amazing, isn't it?
Stuart Bingham, 50.
Now, he stole frame 6. Can he do the same in frame 7? This could be a crippling blow for Bingham.
That's what makes John Higgins such a hard man to beat. I mean, Stuart Bingham's certainly been the aggressor of the evening, certainly been the better player of the evening's play, certainly had the best chances of the evening play.
8.
But John Higgins still hangs on in there. There's a slight chance he could go 4-3 in front. Bingham actually should have won this match already.
9.
The very definition of a pressure shot coming up here, though. Higgins equal to the task.
$16.
Stuart Bingham has scored more points than John Higgins. More table time, better pot success rate. more balls potted, better safety success rate. And yet, he's in danger of falling behind.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's been one of those games, though. Stuart's controlled the match. You've just got to pot vital balls and be a little bit more careful when you're in the balls. And, you know, the last frame is missing easier in the middle. That frame, okay, played it quickly and lost position. He's cueing beautifully, Stuart Bingham.
$23.
What a terrible
24.
kick. Does the blue pass the red? I think it does. Good recovery, because it was an enormous kick on the previous shot. Just have a look at this. Just bounce. You saw the red there bouncing,
29.
took all the pace out of the cue ball. Luckily, the blue passed the red.
Ideally clearing up, Higgins might have wanted to leave the red he's just potted down there, but it's only a minor irritation. Now this is the only semi-awkward ball on the table. If this one goes
35.
in, Higgins, although he's still numerically behind, becomes favourite.
Time extension.
As my colleague Phil Yates mentioned, that was the ball that could have been his Achilles heel. It's now disappeared, so John Higgins clearly favourite to lead 4-3 and lead for the first time in this match.
Having one frame snatched away is bad enough. Two in succession, particularly late on in a match.
43.
Hard to take.
44.
Definitely be playing for a baulk colour here. Doesn't want to risk getting the wrong side of the blue in this
51.
situation. Always remember that the amateur players that are playing,
52.
you never risk playing for the blue on that particular shot, because if you get the wrong side of it, it's difficult then to get back onto the yellow. You'd have to congratulate John Higgins, because he's nowhere near on top form. But Stuart's presented him with these last couple of frames.
56.
Stuart Bingham now got to play catch up.
58.
Higgins 8 points ahead, so just green, brown and blue will do.
$61. $65.
You don't see blues like this missed.
Thanks.
70.
Not the highest break of the tournament by any means, but one of the best. Given the context in which it was made. John Higgins, 4-3 ahead. Don't know how, but he is. Willie Bingham's mind at the moment must be in something of a whirl.
Absolutely. I mean, he should have already been with his pals in a restaurant somewhere having a bite to eat. Looking forward to the final tomorrow. I think he's left the gap there. You can see the gap. I think that was the buzzer to put him off there, the shot clock.
I was chatting to John Higgins earlier before the start of the match, and he was saying even now the shot clock still makes him feel slightly uncomfortable. And a couple of times when the beeps have gone off, he's missed balls he would normally knock in.
Just coming round to see if there's a plant on. If it's a certainty, he'll take the plant on. And he's taking it on. This must be a guaranteed plant. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, but look at this. Oh, can you believe it? 3 kisses later is perfect on the black.
We talked about John Higgins winning the Premier League way back in 1999 as a 23-year-old. Can he make the final of this tournament for the 5th time in his career?
Eight.
You can see this, the centre of the pocket available and the left-hand jaw. You can't go in off the right-hand jaw. And that's the reason he's missed it. It just shows you sometimes when you can't see a full pocket. Well, this match has had more twists and turns than a roller coaster ride. It's amazing.
One.
Played for it in the middle. Second prize, he's got it in the corner.
Six. Seven.
Yes, the reason he really wanted to be on the one just below and to the left of the pink, because that would have cleared the pink into another pocket. Didn't quite roll through far enough for that.
$13.
A number of years ago, if things had happened like they have to Stuart Bingham in this match, he would have not been able to get over the line, but he looks very, very confident again.
$19.
This time he's got onto that red he wanted to.
24.
Is he on it in such a way he can guarantee getting onto the pink?
$25. Time extension.
Not quite sure what he needed to do there. Hasn't made his mind up and so takes the time extension.
Is he on anything?
31.
At first glance, it doesn't look perfect, does it? The one in the middle is tough. Hampered queuing. Wasn't a certainty that was an excellent
32.
shot.
After the twin disappointments of the previous two frames, Bingham so far doing well in this one.
39.
And that's played nicely as well.
Well, the stumbling block in this frame, of course, has been the red that's on the black spot. The black will pot, but of course, you'd like to get on the black eventually, in such a way can get rid of that red, but he's thinking he can win the frame just with pinks. He's 45 plays 8.
45.
So 37 in front. 4 reds and pinks will be enough.
46. $52. $53.
So Bingham now 51 points ahead. Still 67 on the
59.
table. 3 pots away from taking it the full distance.
60.
Well, having seen what happened in the two previous frames when he was an absolute certainty almost both times to win the frame, this is a very good effort from Stuart.
66.
Can't imagine he's going to miss this frame ball.
67.
If the red's on the black spot, this red might not pot, so he may have to play for the 2 reds that are in the middle pocket. I've decided to risk playing a cannon. Why, I don't know. He's now snookered.
$74.
66 points the difference though, 51 on the table. Higgins needs 4 snookers.
Yeah. 74 on the frame.
And John Higgins concedes, and so this is an entirely fitting conclusion to what's so far been an absorbing match. John Higgins 4, Stuart Bingham 4. We're down to a sudden death decider. Well, I think this has been one of the best ever Premier Leagues. We've had so much drama, so much quality. And I think that's been the story of this semi-final as well. We started out not too far from here in Skegness. Then it was up to Stoke, where Neil Robertson showed his skills in beating Mark Selby 5-1. The match I remember in Carlisle was Murphy and Bingham 3-3. Bingham led 3-0 and 51-0. Murphy did really well to get a draw out of it. John Higgins didn't pot all that well, but he showed his tactical brain in winning 4-2 against Mark Allen. The big night really was Guildford, wasn't it? Stuart Bingham was extraordinary. He beat Mark Selby 6-0 and then beat Neil Robertson 6-0, making 4 century breaks en route. Up in Doncaster, Murphy Selby was a dead match. Trump Allen wasn't. It was all about who got to 3 frames first. Trump did it and won the match comprehensively 5-1. Then last week at Spennymoor, Neil Robertson. He was 2-0 down to Ding Junhui within a ball of going out of the tournament. Somehow he won 4-2, and that's why he's going to take on Judd Trump in our second semi-final here this evening. First though, Willie, we have unfinished business.
And absolutely, and I think in fairness it would have been a little bit unfortunate for Stuart. At least now he's given himself a chance to win the match. You know, he has almost thrown the match away on a couple of occasions, but that was an excellent break, a break of 74 there to win that frame and tie the scores up, and it literally is anybody's game now. I mean, all you want in a one frame decider is a chance. You can forgive yourself if you lose the match if you've had a chance, you know, but if you don't get a chance, you can feel a little unfortunate.
Just looking at previous matches between these two that have gone the distance, both 9-frame matches, and it's one victory each. Higgins beat Bingham 5-4, first round of the 2006 China Open in Beijing. Bingham, 13 years ago now, beat Higgins 5-4 in the second round of the Welsh Open, so no clue there.
I was just about to say no careless break off from John Higgins, and I think he has broke off carelessly. Lucky for him, the greens come to his rescue. So John Higgins will have to work on that break off should he get to the final tomorrow. Doesn't want to kiss the green. First mistake comes from Bingham.
And Willie, the feel of a decider is different from any other frame. Every point you can get in front, it adds that little bit of extra pressure to your opponent.
No need, of course, to go into the pink here from the blue. That's the reason he's playing for the two loose reds that are up near the black. I'd like to have hit that a little bit harder, though. He's left himself plenty of distance between cue ball and object ball. Especially if he tries to drag it in for to stay on the black. Could go wrong. That's what he has done, though, and played it nicely.
6. $13. 14.
In frame 8, Higgins in first. Mr. Red from short range. Will he be more reliable this time?
Yes, he'd like to finish low on this red here so he can run off them and bring reds into play and getting onto the black. That's what he has done. Two ways of playing it: either run through and bring reds into play, or screw back on and off the cushion
21
to bring reds into play. Which way is he going to play it? Screwing back. Hasn't come on and off the cushion though, so this is not a certainty.
22.
I think the red that's loose on the right hand side of the pack, or pot in the middle. Yes, it does. So that's quite fortunate, really, because if that red wasn't on, it would have been end of break, and I think he may have hit that too hard.
29.
Still pot the red in the middle? He thinks so.
Tough shot coming up.
It didn't look on, but it was slightly over around the cue ball, so potting the brown very thin is a tough shot. As we see this red, I thought he'd gone a little bit too far to play that pot. Will he risk cutting the brown in and probably splitting the reds? Not so sure he can hit it slow enough to get onto the red that's at the back of the pack.
Time extension.
I think he may just run in behind the green here. It's a bit tricky. Well, all these top players, if they get a chance to win, he's dying to play the brown, isn't he? He really wants to play the brown. Well, he's not playing the pot, though.
John Higgins.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. I think the decision was wonderful. Then the execution.
That's all you need, isn't it? 4-4, 30 behind. Could be your last shot you're playing now. What a great effort. Congratulations, Stuart. Well played. Well, he's been putting these long ones all night. This is a big shot if he takes it on. Once again, it's one of those he wants to play it, but he's not playing it. He wishes he'd have played it now, though. Great pot, but no position.
Blue ball.
Wow.
John Higgins 1.
I think there was a moment there where Higgins thought he potted that.
Well, it's certainly a lifeline. If he pots it, he'd have finished on the red in the middle. The fact that he caught the blue a little bit thick took the pace out of the cue ball. So this is a massive shot for Stuart Bingham. If it goes in, he's got a chance of winning the frame and match.
The opening red there, Willie, another indication of just how well he's cueing.
Well, this is not beyond the realms of possibility that this could go all the way down to the black. Obviously Stuart Bingham's in control now, albeit he is 24 points behind as we speak.
8.
Doesn't really have to play any cannon into the reds. When he gets rid of a red, another one will pot. What's he done here? Oh, you lucky, lucky, lucky man.
13.
The pressure's high, so are the stakes. Losing semi-finalists, £12,500. If you get to the final, you're guaranteed at least £25,000. The champion receives £50,000.
This is the key shot for me. Can he bring another red into play? He has done. Is he nicely on the black? He is. Just push the red in such a way that it's not a straightforward positional shot. He screws on and off the cushion and tries to get onto the red to the left of the pink in the corner. He could overscrew it. That's what he's played. He could overscrew this. I rest my case.
Great call, Willie.
29.
Well, if there's a plant appeared, once again he's been a bit fortunate. It's amazing. Played a couple of bad shots, he had a good kiss, got on a red, and now he has a chance for frame and match.
Well, the plan didn't only continue the break, it actually made the rest of it easier.
Not too sure whether from our commentary position the black will pass the red in the corner,
35.
but if it does, from that position I'm not too sure it does. But obviously it does after that shot.
36.
Clearly.
$43.
Well, it's been 13 years since Stuart Bingham beat John
44.
Higgins, and what a time to do it in this semi-final of a major tournament. Should he go on to win this frame, that's what he would have done. That's a good shot.
49.
When Higgins
50.
stole successive frames, 6th and 7th, to lead 4-3, I thought he was a good thing. Not anymore.
Well, I'm not too sure how good he is on this black. Once again, it's one of those shots, if he screws on and off the cushion, this time he wants to overscrew it. But it looks like he can force that
Time extension.
on and off the cushion with side and get onto that. The red will definitely pot in this bottom left-hand corner, but he's got to get high on it.
Employing his second time extension of the frame to compose himself.
It doesn't pot in the middle, so he's just playing the snooker. I'm surprised he didn't take a risk there in trying to get onto that red better than that. I mean, if John Higgins hits this and gets it safe, we've still got a match on. It's not beyond the realms. He could fluke this in the middle pocket if he hits it right. Close, wouldn't it? Hasn't got any extensions left, that's why he's rushing. And when you're rushing you can make mistakes, but not this time. Well, this is not only tough to hit, it's even tougher to get safe. He has to hit it half ball. If he hits it full ball, he'll stick the red. He has hit it half ball.
Foul.
Unlucky. Where's the red going? Well, I think, has it gone past the middle?
Stuart
Can
Bingham
he cut it in from the green spot?
If it does clip, it's very thin.
Yes, it does. From that camera angle, we can see that it's well, it's a lot easier from that camera angle. So this is an excellent chance now for Stuart. 30 points in front, just the red needed.
One.
He won't feel entirely safe just yet. Knocking the green, yellow to follow, and then he can start to celebrate. And Willie, he's shown an awful lot of character.
Shown a lot of bottle. I've been impressed with him when he's under pressure. Okay, he's been a little bit careless this evening, and I think he's escaped this evening, to be fair. Okay, he should have won the match. He's been the better player,
Stuart Bingham,
but he's done his best to lose it.
Smidgen of hope for John Higgins. 2 snookers needed on the colours.
I think he can get through to this. He can.
Two. Stuart Bingham, 2.
Now it's 3 snookers. Frames have been won from this kind of predicament, Willie, but not very often. And certainly not deciding frames.
3.
I can remember Nigel Bond doing it against the very gentleman that's playing this evening in the British Open a few years ago. He needed a snooker in the final frame, got it and won on the black.
John Higgins, 3.
Well, 22 years ago in the European Open in Lyon in France, Nigel Bond got 4 snookers on the brown in a deciding frame to beat John Campbell, the Australian.
But there's no snookers here. It's just a win for Stuart Bingham. He's marked his debut in the PartyPoker.com Premier League by reaching the final, and he beats a 4 times world champion to do it. Congratulations, Stuart Bingham.
Now, firstly, congratulations, a wonderful win, and you're in tomorrow's final.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to actually believe now I'm in the final. It is unreal.
Willie Thorne was saying towards the end of that match, it showed a lot of bottle. You showed a lot of character because of how the game went. You had a lot of chances from 2-0 up. You could have made it 3-0, at 3-2. It could have been 4-2. You missed a few big balls early on, but to stay in there and actually to get over the finishing line, you must be delighted with that.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you say I remember at 3-2 I missed an easy red to go 4-2, and then I was 50 up in the next, and that obviously then that could have been 5-2, but obviously John, the player he is, he cleared up when the balls were there, and I'm just delighted.
We spoke beforehand about the difference between a league game in the Premier League and then when you get down to the last 4, it's a semi-final match. Did it feel different? Did it feel like a semi-final out here?
Yeah, obviously, like, if you lose here, you're out. That's it, end of. So, yeah, there's obviously a bit more pressure. I felt sort of nervous all the way through, and obviously a few of the balls I missed were pure nerves.
There was a few times where you sat back in your chair after a big ball and you sort of looked up to the stars and puffed out your cheeks. You were feeling it out there. There was a lot of pressure on both of you.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, say like playing John, he's made probably, without the rankings, the best player in the world. Just to come through that match is great.
Now I'm going to ask you another question. You can't answer it with, I don't really care, may the best man win and so on. We've got 2 wonderful players also want to meet you tomorrow night, Judd Trump and Neil Robertson. Who do you prefer out of the 2? Who would you like to play tomorrow night?
Neil Robertson, without a doubt. To beat him 6-0, he ain't won a frame off me in this competition. So, no, obviously it's going to be a great match whoever wins, and I just think everyone's happy that ain't a Judd and John Higgins final because it's getting boring. But yeah, I don't care. I know it's. I know I'm just going to say it, but I don't care. I'm just happy to be playing tomorrow.
And it's the fiancé watching because obviously you got a chance to win 50 grand tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, she'll be watching, hopefully. She may probably fell asleep watching that.
Believe me, she's probably online spending it as we speak.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I'll just say, hello, how are you?
Congratulations, well played. We'll see you in tomorrow night's final. Stuart Bingham, everyone. Well done, Stuart. A wonderful performance from Stuart Bingham, signing some autographs for some very lucky young lads. Stay